First set in a tiebreak and leads 1-0 in the second. Mary, I know you're going to tell that story.
I will. There was a health scare for Nastase a couple of months ago. During the U.S. Open, there was a rumor that he wasn't well, that it could have been, that no one knew what was really wrong with him, but a heart or something, a heart problem or something. And so Tiriac was in Bucharest, and he was hearing these stories, and he didn't know what the story was, so he finally sent a fax to Nastase. The fax said, Nastase, if you are still alive, congratulations. If you are dead, goodbye, Tiriac.
That's pretty severe.
I think Nastase took it well. Another big return from Becker. I think because Chang's service percentage has dropped down, he's taken quite a bit off of it now, and now he's
struggling a bit.
Well, yeah, and he's going, now Becker's going to just swing away. He's got a set in hand. This never happened once to Michael Chang against Pete Sampras yesterday.
He's forcing very much so now. There's no rhythm. That the Becker has the rhythm on the serve, and Chang is really struggling.
Well, look at these big old swings Becker's taking. Chang thought he got hooked on that big Becker forehand return. Chang felt it went deep. Let's see if he talks to Steve Ulrich about it.
Well, we'll have a look at it on our camera here. It'll probably show us. Becker runs round that one, clocks it wide, deep into the corner.
That was clearly in. Chang was complaining to Steve Ulrich about something. We know we've been talking a lot about Chang and his serve game, and yes, it has improved, but press asked him after his last match about his serve and how much it had helped him against Pete Sampras, and he says, the meat of my game is still my ground strokes. And in spite of what you just saw, he says, I'm not going to all of a sudden become a serve and volley player. My strength is still my ground strokes, and up here, pointing to his head and being able to move around the court.
That's only his second ace today. Going winning 1 in 3 on second serve, so it's very important for Chang to get that first serve into play.
30 all. There's a double fault from Chang.
It's only his second.
That is his second for the day. I think that Becker has really got to him on the second serve now.
Well, break point now.
There's the breaker serve for Becker, and Chang is in trouble. Down a break and down 1-0 to Germany's Boris Becker. College football here on ESPN Thursday night at 8 p.m. Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas. The Baylor Bears will take on the Longhorns. Longhorns having a good year. In fact, they are top of the Southwest Conference leaderboard, 7-1-1. They haven't lost an interconference game yet this year.
Well, the confidence level has picked up for Becker. He played a very smart point to break serve, played the drop shot, and came in, closed in on the net, and picked the way Chang was going. He had to go hook it down the line, and now with a heavy first serve, the rhythm is right there on the serve at the moment. Look at it.
I've always thought that the most dangerous part about playing against Becker indoors is the way that he'll attack your second serve. And he's on to Chang's now. That and his first serve effectiveness. Mark Miles, ATP Tour CEO.
He gave a State of the Game address and took questions earlier today from the written press. Nice little attack play by Chang, because it kind of was spinning away from him. Michael Chang had to do an extra little bit of footwork at the last fraction of a moment to get to that one, and he pulled it into the court for a winner. But it's still 30-15. another return winner.
You know, Becker is a very solid indoor player. So is Michael Chang at number 3. This is since 1990. So in the last 4 years, Becker's won 14 events. Chang has won 8. Sampras has got 11. This is indoors specifically we're talking about. Now, Michael Steve has got 8 as well. Lendl, Agassi, and Rosset.
Chang now trying to take that Becker serve earlier. This is how he returned against Sampras. That one was just too big. 205. That's 127 miles an hour. His second biggest serve of the day. So Becker sees what Chang is trying to do, and he's going with some real smoke. Push him back.
Chang broke once in the first set, and he's had 2 break points in all for the match. That is long. The players are going to take a break. We'll join them. It's looking good for Germany's Beck at the moment. He won the first set, and he's up 3-love, 1 break in the second. Michael Chang's in trouble now with Becker up a set and a break. He's one of the smallest players on the IBM ATP Tour, but everybody in the game knows that he's got a big heart.
I've always had to play a smart game, you know, because it's not really my style to go out and blow the guy off the court. You know, if I'm able to go out and serve 30-plus aces like Goran, I'm working on it, but you know, not quite there yet. And you know, I've always been a thinking player out there. Use what talents that I have and what shots that I had, knowing my weaknesses and my strengths, and using them, you know, to the best of my ability according to who I'm playing. And you know, I think that regardless of how much people talk about tennis being a power game, I still think very much it's a thinking man's game.
I tell you, Michael Chang is, without a doubt, one of the smartest players on the tour, if not the smartest. I mean, he feels that, and you know, as you hear from him, that he's got to have that to make up for his lack of size. 30-love Chang.
Oh man, that's just timed so sweetly from Becker. Not a bad serve from Chang, but Becker backhand. Well, we've seen some very impressively huge shots come off that side.
Well, what happens now is you're setting a break up. You can swing away and make a few errors and still be driving the cart. And Becker now, with that confidence, the crowd behind him, just lets it rip. That's why this match could finish in a hurry unless Chang gets back in. There's another one. And just keep going for him until you start to miss.
And even then, Becker says, I keep going for them. He wants to, even if he's got to die, he wants to do it with his boots on, Boris Becker.
Yeah, that's the truth. That was a slight miss-hit on the return. Let's look. See if he hit that off the bottom of the frame. 30-all. Oh, that's just very solid stuff from Becker. That was a thinking man's volley, too. That wasn't just all munch and crunch.
A little finesse volley here. He plays that so that purpose behind that is to make Chang take one hand off the racket to not allow him to hit the passing shot. Chang went for the angle. He was quick enough to get there, just missed it. Break point.
This is for an insurance break for Becker. He's got one already in the set.
You can bet at this stage he's give this one a rip.
Double fault from Chang as he presents the game to Becker. 4 games to love in second set.
Chang there worrying about Becker, and that's where